friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's Pick a Pendulum reading, we are going to be looking at why isn't this here yet? And by this is any manifestation, any goal that you may be asking about. So for example, if you are asking about when you are going to meet a specific someone, when you and a specific someone are going to be together, when a certain goal is going to manifest, this could be literally anything that you are trying to bring about. So how this reading is going to work is we're going to start by using the pendulum that you choose. And we're going to look at whether or not this manifestation can be sped up. If the pendulum says yes, we're going to look at how. If the pendulum says no, we're going to look at what divine timing is trying to teach you that you're trying to skip. And the cool thing is, by understanding that, that's actually speeding it up as well. So no matter what, things are going to be speeding up in terms of whatever you're trying to manifest. An important thing to mention as well is that whatever you're trying to manifest, especially if you were brought to this reading, is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. So after we look at whether it's a yes or a no, we're going to use the tarot deck that you choose to answer either how or what is divine timing trying to teach you that you're trying to skip. So we're going to be doing reversals in this reading, and we're essentially going to look at if the cards are upright, that is going to indicate something that you're already doing, that you should keep doing because it is helping. And if the card is reversed, that is indicating something that you're not doing, but that you should be doing because it will help speed this manifestation up. And then after that, we are going to look at further guidance for bringing this manifestation forward, just guidance for you. And then within that, we will look at what signs are there that could potentially be useful for you. So I'm really excited to do this reading today, and I'm really hoping that it's going to be helpful. So we have 3 different groups for you to choose from today. Starting with group number 1, we are going to be using the Ember and Aura Tarot, and this is the Awakening edition. And we have Rosie, the Rose Quartz pendulum on top. And then for group number 2, we are going to be using the Affirmator's Tarot, and I have Skelly, the Fluorite pendulum on top. And then finally, for group number 3, we are going to be using the Outsider's Tarot, and I have Lazlo, the Lapis Lazuli pendulum on top. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pal you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one, especially if you're asking about more than one manifestation. You may want to assign a group for each. We're not going to be looking at what the specific manifestation is, because for many of you, the manifestation could be different, but what you need to do is the same. So that's kind of the logic there. But intro squad, hello, if you are here with me, it is time to make a wish. So we are going to be using the Magician candle today. If you guys are unaware, all of my tarot candles come with a mini tarot card inside, so we will use that as the mini message, but I thought the Magician would be the perfect candle to use today because it is all about manifestation and bringing into being all that we want to create. So based on what is on the inside of this candle, that will represent your mini message. So let's go ahead and look at that. Ooh, okay. I actually love this. So the 7 of Swords is going to be our mini message, but here is the Magician candle and all of his beautiful glory. I've decided this candle is a he. But if you would like to go ahead and make a wish with me, feel free to pause the video if you need to really take time to set your focus. If you really want to add a little bit of extra magic or just affirm that you made a wish with me, why don't you comment below the little magic wand emoji? I would love to see that. But I'm going to go ahead now and make my wish, so let's make our wish together. May yours, mine, and all of wishes come true. Thank you for making a wish with me, and thank you for letting me know with your little magician emoji in the comments. So let's talk about the Seven of Swords, because this immediately to me was telling me that the biggest blockage in your life right now when it comes to your manifestations, or just when it comes to functioning in general, is your own self-sabotage and self-betrayal. You know, the Seven of Swords can sometimes indicate outside betrayal. So I will say, if there's any of you that have been really suspicious of someone, or feeling like you maybe need to be on guard, or like look at someone with a bit of hesitance, and you'll know if that message is for you because someone will immediately come to mind, that may be confirmation for you. I hope you don't have someone like that in your life, but you know, unfortunately, that's just how it be sometimes. But I feel like the Seven of Swords, more than anything, is telling me that the way you are currently perceiving things, especially if you're perceiving them in a very negative light, is not reality. It could be that you're getting really caught up or really tuned into your own human experience right now, to a point where maybe you're not seeing yourself realistically. You might be really struggling with imposter syndrome, or you might be struggling with the idea that you're even worthy of the things that you're trying to bring about. And those questions are just lies. They are straight up lies. And I feel like this card came through to tell you to not trust those negative thoughts and not trust those assumptions that you have about yourself, because they're not true. And in fact, it's just messaging that's trying to hold you down and keep you stuck. I really feel like you're being called to take your power back and remind yourself just how incredible you are, just how special you are, and the fact that nobody can do that for you. You have to be the one to affirm for yourself your worth, your value, and remind yourself that you are worthy of wonderful things. You are deserving of love. You are deserving of abundance. You are deserving of kindness, and you are deserving of the dreams that are in your heart. And I definitely would say, if you're relying on your logic solely to bring these manifestations about, that could be something that is getting in your way, because you might be looking at things from a very logical perspective when your heart is really the place that has the answers. You know, our heart space is the map that our soul, it's kind of like where the step-by-step map of our life is laid out. And so we have to really trust and listen to our heart and follow that. So don't let self-sabotage, don't let self-betrayal or imposter syndrome stop you from following your dreams. I will say myself, I struggle with that a lot too, and it's not easy. But if you can just pinky promise me that you will not let it win, I pinky promise I won't let it either. I mean, I'm not going to let it either way, but I think the pinky promise is more meaningful. So pinky promise. This is definitely a sign that things are much better than you actually perceive them to be. And the more you get grounded and kind of let go of some of that internal dialogue and internal messaging, the more you'll see that it wasn't the reality of your situation, that like things were falling apart or things are going terribly. It's just the way you were perceiving things. And sure, things might not be going great, but a positive attitude and just a willingness to face things as they are and not over catastrophize can make things a lot easier. So that is your mini message. I hope that it resonated. If you don't want to leave me a magician thing, you can leave me a little sword instead. Is there a sword emoji? I don't know, but you can do that. Shout out to my intro squad. You guys are the best. I just appreciate your comments so much. Like, it just means so much to me that so many of you guys stick around for the intro with me. Like, you guys are the best. I'm sending all of you an astral forehead kiss and an astral hug. I hope you receive them. And yeah, thank you for being here, and let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Ember and Aura Tarot and Rosie, the Rose Quartz Pendulum, this is going to be your reading on why isn't your manifestation here yet. So if you want a full breakdown of the reading / explanation of the reading, there is one in the intro. Apologies, but the angle might not be the most efficient to look at the pendulum, so sorry if it's kind of hard to see, but I tested it and it should be doable. But you know, my hand does get in the way a little bit. But what we're going to start by doing is look at what yes means for Rosie and what no means for Rosie. So, and if you would like to thank Rosie for her hard work, feel free. But Rosie, what does a yes mean for you? Okay, it looks like a yes is counterclockwise, so we're gonna write that down. I know I have the most beautiful handwriting in the world. I know you're jealous, it's okay. Not everyone. That's a rough looking arrow. Let me just make another one just so that we have an idea. Okay. And Rosie, what does no represent? Seems to be a side to side motion. But let's just double check with that. Rosie, what is a no for you? Okay. Looks like, it almost looks like a head shake no. So side to side is no. So we got that in my beautiful handwriting. So just to reiterate, we're asking if this manifestation can be sped up. So yes or no, Rosie, can pile one's manifestation be sped up? Suspense is looks like it's going side to side. But let's just do it one more time just to be sure. So Rosie, can pile one's manifestation be sped up? All right, so Rosie is saying no, which means that we have to look at what divine timing is trying to teach you that you're trying to skip. Okay, thank you, Rosie. We are going to stick her there. So now we are going to use your tarot deck and see what divine timing is trying to teach you that you're trying to skip. Now, the cool thing about getting a no is that things will be sped up anyway, because by doing what divine timing is trying to teach you, that will bring this along sooner. I also love how much, like, my nails basically match this deck, which just makes me happy. Because divine timing, as I like to say, is not a date on the calendar. It is created by our actions or lack thereof. So, you know, what once could be a month away could then be a week away just by doing things differently. So, just to reiterate, upright cards represent things you're already doing, and reversals represent things that you should be doing that you're not doing yet, that divine timing wants to bring up. So let's get one more good shuffle, and we will just pull some cards to see. Okay, so for group number one, Spirit, what is divine timing trying to teach them about this manifestation that group number one is trying to skip? What is divine timing trying to teach group number one? Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles. What is divine timing trying to teach group number one? We have the Five of Pentacles. What is divine timing trying to teach group number one? Okay, we have the Emperor. What is divine timing trying to teach? Okay, we have the Queen of Wands. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. Okay, so this is really interesting. Let me make sure everything is in the frame. Number one, I just feel really called to tell you guys, group number one, you're not doing anything wrong here. In fact, I can tell for a lot of you what you're trying to manifest is a romantic relationship of some kind. And I think actually what divine timing is trying to teach you that it's not that you're skipping this. I think it's that you're forgetting this, that when there is a manifestation that involves more than one person, it's not always something that you're doing, because as you can see here, we have shuffled for reversals and all your cards came out upright. So let's talk about the things that you're doing. Number one, you've been setting yourself up for success. You've been working on your finances, and I would not be shocked if you are in a good financial position or definitely headed there. It seems like you've been taking good guidance. It seems like you have practical plans for your dreams. It seems like, I just heard the term booked and busy. It also seems like you're doing an excellent job at keeping up with what you need to. You've definitely developed yourself into an ideal partner, or the right type of partner that you want to be. If you're already with someone and your manifestation involves going to a different level with them, or because the manifestation doesn't necessarily have to be like manifesting a romantic partner. You might already have one already and the manifestation involves the both of you. It definitely seems like the biggest issue here is not something you're doing. The biggest issue here is what is going on with the other person. Because not only are you either booked and busy, or just at the very least, you've got your shit together. Not only do you have your shit together, but like it seems like on the material realm, you're doing quite well. I can also see here that you've worked a lot on self-love, but not just self-love in a way that's like, I'm gonna like give myself a bath and do a face mask, self-love. It seems like you've worked incredibly hard to get yourself into a position where you're putting yourself first and you're caring for yourself. It also seems like you are taking accountability and focusing on what is within your control. And you're also highly magnetic and attractive right now. I think one of the hardest parts, though, is that you're kind of forgetting that it's not just what you do when it comes to this situation. It seems like whatever is happening here, it has to do with the other person. It seems like you're already in the position for this manifestation to happen. And maybe it doesn't have to do with a romantic partner. It could be trying to find a business partner. It could be being in the right place at the right time for a specific creation. But it seems like whatever you're trying to create, you are in the position for it to happen. Whatever this manifestation is, you're doing an excellent job. The problem is, there is something, whatever is outside that, like whatever external factors are required for this manifestation, that seems to be what is taking time. And your challenge here seems to be maintaining what is within your control and not letting the timing of things, or not letting the frustration of not knowing where this thing is, get in your way. Because I can definitely see here that because this hasn't manifested yet, you may be feeling like you're doing something wrong or you're missing out on something, and you're not. You're doing everything right. I wouldn't be shocked though, with the 5 of coins, you might be starting to feel like hopeless, or like you're doing something wrong, or like something's being withheld from you, and it's not. I will say though, if you do have quite high standards or specific expectations of who you want to show up, or what type of person you want in your life, or what type of experience you're trying to manifest, it may take more time for it to ground, especially if it's hyper specific, if it's around a specific person. I do feel called to pull more cards just to see what you need to know about these external factors. Like maybe we can get some more insight into timing or something like that. I'm not shocked you picked the rose quartz though, because it definitely seems like you've learned and mastered a lot of the lessons necessary. It's just that there are other things outside of your control that are taking more time, and your challenge is maintaining your energy and not taking the lack of results personally, because it definitely seems like it's not anything you're doing. It's a matter of getting everything else ready. It makes me think of this example Alana Fairchild talks about this in many of her books, that she had books ready to be published for years before she found the right publisher. And now I'm not saying that this person is going to take years, or this manifestation is going to take years, but sometimes it's not that you've done anything wrong, or that what you've created isn't good enough, or that your manifestation can't happen. It's just that in order for it to happen, you know, it's not just about you and you being ready, it's about that other person being ready. It's about the factors being ready for this. So let me just go ahead and see what you need to know about these external factors, and just kind of what you can expect. So what does pile 1 need to know about the external factors of these manifestations, you know, especially in terms of what's outside of their control? What could you tell them that would be helpful or useful? Okay, I love to see this already. What else, Spirit? Interesting. Okay, we got 2 more. We also have the Devil in reverse, and those are titties. Let's take, I actually don't think they are. I think they're knees, but we're just gonna be safe. Okay, so the biggest thing that I feel, oh yeah, your manifestations are on their way. Like, especially if you're trying to manifest a long-term partnership or manifest something with a partner, it's coming. It's just not time yet. And I know that's incredibly frustrating to hear, but you're not doing anything wrong. And if you feel like negative thoughts or things like that have been getting in the way, they're not. This is a lot about you being able to maintain a sense of equilibrium in the midst of waiting for external factors to get into place. The fact that we have the 7 of Pentacles up right here definitely tells me that not only are your manifestations well on their way, they're in the process right now of being harvested. Like, they're in the process of being created. And like, it's not something where you have to go back to the drawing board and shift anything. No, like, this is already happening. It's just what you're creating. It seems to be quite substantial. And it also seems to be something that is a very heartfelt dream of yours that does take time to come into being for whatever reason. It could have to do with factors of distance, factors of timing, factors of another person being ready, factors of just everything aligning. But what I can see here is that if there's another person involved, they're going through some major cycles right now around releasing themselves from toxic behaviors, toxic patterns, things that they've been attached to. They're also learning powerful lessons around love in terms of like joy. If this is not a love manifestation, I definitely feel like there could be, like, if this is a business partner situation, for example, if you're trying to manifest like investors or business partners, it could be that they're currently tied up in different businesses that almost need to like fail, or that they need to leave. The biggest guidance that I'm hearing here for you is to not get caught up in what you don't know, because you might create not any like negativity around these manifestations, but you could create some unnecessary stress for yourself, and you might also start to doubt yourself, and that will make it harder for you to just stand firm and stay in your magnetism. You're highly magnetic, and I feel like one thing that Spirit wants you to know is that it's okay to question your faith sometimes. It's okay to get frustrated with the universe. It's okay to scream at the top of your lungs and, you know, rant to your guides, rant to the universe. Timing is frustrating, and living in a way where we perceive linear time, like, it's challenging, it's hard. I definitely think though that you're not doing anything wrong. You're definitely not doing anything wrong. But I do think that what this time period is really challenging you to do is to just continue your expansion in ways where you find joy in the most unlikely of places, and you recognize where you can free yourself and even more. If you are holding yourself to a specific location or a specific path because you are afraid that if you stray from that path, this situation won't manifest, I feel called to tell you that that's not true. And in fact, if you want to do something differently or explore or just do things that excite you, there's room for that here. I feel like one of the things that could make this time more challenging is if you keep yourself stuck in a way that you don't actually want to be stuck, but because you're afraid that if you make a different move or if you do something differently, this situation won't manifest the way you're hoping it to. It is important to remember that what is meant for you won't miss you. But also it's important to remember that, you know, when this manifests, because let's be clear, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because this is already happening, this is already coming, it's just taking time, and it's one that's quite solid, so it will take time for it to be created. And I do feel like if this is a partner you're manifesting, or if you're manifesting you and a partner like having some sort of experience together or reaching some new level together, there is a level of both of you being prepared, and it seems like that person for you is in a process right now of shedding a lot of old beliefs, a lot of old patterns, a lot of old things that they thought they wanted, and they're also breaking free of a lot of intense cycles. I definitely think that whoever your partner is, they haven't been happy for a long time, or future partner, and right now they're in the process of making changes. All you need to do is stay strong and stay firm to what's in your heart. And I know that's challenging and I know that's frustrating, but this is manifesting differently for all of you. And I do think that one of the things that you might almost, I don't want to say kick yourself for, is this situation comes and you're like, dang, I could have taken that trip, or dang, I could have taken that time off and gone backpacking. Or if you have ideas of travel or just things you want to explore, going back to school, do it, because you're not going to miss this situation. Like, even if you guys are at a distance, even if this person comes in and you're in different locations, like, you will make it work. Like, this situation is 100% Tim Gunn. Like, you will make it work. Like, there are beings that are supporting you through this process. And I feel like one of the biggest things the universe wants you to know is that you're not doing anything wrong, and that they feel you on how frustrating it is that, you know, this isn't here yet, but it's coming. It's a matter of you trusting in that, and also making sure that you're not denying any opportunities for joyful experiences and opportunities for fun because you're waiting for the situation to come first. That's not something that's necessary. And if anything, it might be something where time flies more easily because you're having more fun and you're giving yourself more space and more grace to just go out and experience and connect with the world around you while this situation comes to a head. You know, like I said, you're not doing anything wrong. There is nothing out of place. You're actually doing everything in your power to bring this situation about, and you've been doing an excellent job. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, you are a bad bitch. And bad bitch is gender neutral. You are doing amazing. And just because you're not getting the outcome that you are hoping for yet doesn't mean it's not coming. Just because things haven't happened in the timing that you thought doesn't mean that it won't happen. It just means that it looks differently. And it might be that you reached the place of being ready much quicker than your person did, much quicker than, you know, your person is ready for. And so that your challenge is you're waiting for the bus a bit longer because you got to the bus stop a lot earlier. And so now you kind of just have to entertain yourself and do what is meaningful and brings you joy. But don't lose confidence in yourself. Don't lose confidence in the situation. Don't lose confidence in what you're manifesting, because it's coming about. And I think it really makes sense that this is a no. You're not trying to skip anything. You're not trying to, you know, manipulate this situation. It's just that your manifestation involves outside factors, and those outside factors aren't ready yet. Those are the outside factors that are being prepared right now and that are being tended to. And so this is a matter of patience and a matter of trusting that it's going to come in the perfect time, in the perfect way. And it's quite possible that if this person showed up now, or if this situation happened now, it wouldn't be right for you, or you wouldn't even recognize it because the factors aren't right yet. And I think it's especially for the external person's situation. So as frustrating as it is, I feel your frustration. I understand, like, things can feel like they take forever, but to just know you're not doing anything wrong. Nothing is out of place. Don't lose confidence in yourself. Don't lose confidence in what you're manifesting. Don't settle for less, but also don't stop yourself from living in the meantime. Don't stop yourself from exploring, and don't stop yourself from doing anything that brings you joy. So with that being said, let's go ahead now and get some signs and guidance to finish this reading off. So we have the solar plexus chakra with the scent of ginger and the theme of will. The trigger statement is I am a victim, and the true statement is I am powerful beyond measure. You are strong and capable. With gratitude, optimism, and action, manifest the life you desire. So I feel like you're already doing that in so many ways. I feel like if anything, you just have to keep trusting in that, and trusting, like, it seems like what you're trying to manifest is quite powerful anyway. And so you're really being called upon continuing to stand in your own power and continuing to trust in yourself and trust that you're not doing anything wrong. Nothing's being withheld from you as a punishment, and to stand much firmer and in the reality that nothing is out of place. Like, you just have a very tasty meal coming to you, and sometimes the chef needs more time in the kitchen to get that prepared. We also have see beyond the past. So a black swan can be significant. We also have the number 23. So I definitely think if you are worried about the past, or worried that, you know, things will come to bite you in the butt, or that things won't work out the way that you expected them to, or if I feel like if you are thinking the universe is just going to pull the rug out from underneath you, or that things are not going to work out and maybe you're stupid or silly, which you're not stupid, but I highly approve of anyone being a silly goose, that I feel like you're worried that you're going to wake up and be like, oh, I've been wasting my time. Nothing is a waste of time. And I feel like you also have to ask yourself, would you rather have what your heart truly desires, or settle for something less just because it comes sooner? Like, you're manifesting a gourmet feast, not fast food. Like, you're ordering something truly nourishing, and that's coming, and you've done so much work on yourself. And I just want you to know, like, the universe is so proud of you, and they just want you to know that, like, you were an incredible person. And so to have someone match that energy, like, they have to be incredible too. And the person or people that could be compatible with that, they're going through that process right now, and they may just not be as talented as you are when it comes to moving through cycles and dealing with certain challenges. But we also have number 8. Your talent for setting and reaching goals is like no other. You are self-sufficient and capable of achieving your ambitions. 8 is representing the ebb and flow, the infinite loop of creation. So yeah, number 1, this manifestation is coming to fruition. Don't you worry about that. But number 2, everything is coming back around, and I feel like one of the best things that you can do right now is just focus on the goals that don't involve an external factor, because if you don't have your focus on this manifestation, it's not going anywhere. It's not disappearing. It's deeply rooted in your heart. But this just gives you the time and space to focus on goals and ambitions that maybe you haven't had the time to focus on in the past, or that maybe, you know, you haven't even been thinking about because this situation has been brought about. Nothing is going wrong. You're doing amazing, and you just need to trust in yourself. But we also have the energy is gaining momentum. So trust that, you know, things are building. Nothing is going wrong. And I do feel like you're going to continue getting more signs. And I feel like the number 8 is really significant here too, because it's like nothing. 8 is a number of leadership. It's also a number of abundance. So I feel like everything's going to be continuing to look up for you. I also just noticed like 3 birds in succession could be a sign, but it also made me think of, you know, the song 3 Little Birds, and, you know, the line specifically, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. And everything already is all right. You just need to trust in that. And finally, we have hair with strength. Take time to make clear decisions. Bring awareness and light to the situation. So I definitely think that you may want to pay attention to decisions that you might be making out of a place of worrying that nothing better will come along, or just trying to fill a void that this manifestation is meant to fill, which, like, you can do whatever, But if you are just afraid that if you don't do something, then you'll miss out, like, I feel like you're being called to recognize what truly has meaning for you, and remember that you don't have to go along with what the crowd thinks just because that's what they say should happen. You're exactly where you need to be, and you have so much power, and I feel like you're already exercising that power. It's just a matter of being patient, and in the meantime seeing what incredible things you can do with that power, and so that life can just be more enjoyable until this manifestation comes to fruition. So pile 1, that's where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That's one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support and appreciation for my channel. But if you would like to support me in other ways, you can like this video. That is super helpful. Thank you to everyone who does that. You can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my merch. You can check out my social media. You can check out other videos, especially ones with extendeds, but that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you don't want to wring my neck from this message. I'm sorry, I am just the messenger. But just know you're doing amazing and you've got nothing to worry about. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose Skelly, the Fluorite pendulum, and the Affirmator's tarot, this is going to be your reading on why isn't your manifestation here yet. So if you'd like a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro, but we're going to go ahead and start by looking at whether or not this manifestation can be sped up. So we are going to use the pendulum that you chose, and we are going to see what yes represents and what no represents. I'm sorry this isn't the most conducive angle to look at, but you should be able to see no matter what. But we are just going to start by asking Skelly what yes means. Can you show us yes for pile 2, please? Okay, it's kind of... All right, now she's picking up speed. So I kind of figured I use this pendulum a lot. So yes seems to be a clockwise circle, but we're just going to double check just to be sure. Skelly, can you show us yes, please? Okay, so yes is a clockwise circle. And Skelly, can you please show us no? Sorry, my hand is moving. I had caffeine, so my hands are a little jittery. But it seems to be a counterclockwise circle, but let's just go ahead and double check just to be sure. Skelly, can you show us what no is? Okay, so counterclockwise circle, which is not surprising. This is usually her yes and no. I use this pendulum a lot. So now we are going to ask Skelly. Skelly, for pile 2's manifestation, can it be sped up? Yes or no? Can pile 2's manifestation be sped up? Yes or no? She's taking time. Taking time to percolate. Okay. I don't think I used percolate properly in that sentence, but it looks like we are getting a yes. I just want to double check though and make sure, just to be safe. Pile 1. Pile 2. You're pile 2. Pile 2, Skelly, can their manifestation be sped up? Yes or no? We are getting another yes, but I just want to let her swing a little bit. Okay, so yes, your manifestation can be sped up. Awesome. So we're gonna put Skelly down, and now we're gonna look at how you can speed this manifestation up. So we're gonna look at that using the tarot deck you chose. I just wanna give a big shout out to everyone who takes the time to leave me a little like or a comment or a subscribe. Anyone who takes the time to say thank you, Skelly. I appreciate that. That's just a simple and easy way to help me. So thank you to everyone who does that. But if you skip the intro, upright cards represent things you're already doing that you should continue doing, and reverse cards represent things that you should be doing that you're not yet doing. So we will look at how you can speed this manifestation up, and hopefully it will be validating to see like what you're already doing that's helping. I love this deck. I love this pendulum. And coincidentally, I also love you. So lots of love to go around today. Happy to have that be the case. Let's just give this one more good shuffle. And then, okay, so pile 2, Spirit. How can they speed up this manifestation of theirs? What can they do? Okay, we have the 10 of Cups, and just for the record, I'm hearing act as if. So just write that down or note that already, which I guess you're already doing because it's upright, but pile 2, please, Spirit. How can they speed up this manifestation? Oh, we got 2 here. Okay, we have the 3 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Wow, okay, so you're already doing a lot that is really helpful and useful. So this is a good sign that things are already speeding up. But what else, Spirit? Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and one more. Okay, we have the Moon in reverse. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, which I'm not really gonna take that, but we're gonna note it. Okay, so actually, will she fit? No. Okay. Ace of Wands is here. I'm just gonna take that as a if we need to include it, but I don't know if we do. So let's talk about what you're already doing that's helping speed this manifestation up. Number 1, you are already acting as if. I think that there is a level of assurance that this manifestation is coming to fruition, but there's also a deep level of gratitude and satisfaction for what's already occurred in your life. With the 10 of Cups, there is a level of emotional fulfillment that you're embodying that's highly magnetic to the manifestations that you're trying to ground. I can also see here that you're not only relying on yourself to make things happen. It seems like you are relying on the help of others, and it seems like you are also focusing on collaboration when you can. I'm also seeing here that if this manifestation has anything to do with work, it seems like you're putting yourself out there. You're definitely giving off team player vibes. And I'm hearing you are getting max aura points with the people either at your job or at your school. If you're doing something where like if your manifestation, let's say for example, has to do with like grad school, or going to school in general, I think you're making a really good impression on the faculty that you might already be working with. And I also can see here, like if you're trying to get letters of recommendation, you're definitely doing a lot to make that happen. I can also see here that you are making time to keep life light, fun, and exciting. It seems like if you can add more to your manifestation, you are. It seems like you're in a process of exploration that is incredibly useful. And it also seems like you are continuing to stay excited, or at the very least, not stay rooted in one way of bringing this manifestation forward. It definitely seems like you are staying curious and staying open to new pathways that could lead you to more opportunities to just ground this manifestation or further, or more opportunities to expand upon it. So like, for example, if you are manifesting traveling to a different place or moving to a different place, it seems like you're making those travel plans, or you're even finding ways to like make travel happen, even if it's within certain limits. Like, for example, maybe you only have weekends to travel, so you're like taking part-time off and traveling for a day and then coming back and doing things. It seems like you're really doing an excellent job at, number one, keeping an idea of what it is you truly want, not getting bogged down by adult responsibilities in the sense of like dumbing down or dimming your dreams because you're afraid that they are too outlandish, or they're too foolish, or they're not for someone like you, because they definitely are. I can see here that you're doing an excellent job at delegating tasks to others that could slow you down or get in the way. And I can see already that there's such a powerful level of gratitude and fulfillment in your life already that it's bringing about a lot of these further manifestations anyway, because it's like you already have this magnetic energy. And if you think about it this way, like when you give someone a gift, it makes a huge difference when it comes to how it's received. So like if you give someone a gift and they're like, oh yeah, thanks, like I wish it was this though, but it's not enough. Or you give someone a gift and they're like, oh my gosh, I love this, thank you. It's like you're giving, oh my gosh, I love this, thank you, to the universe. And that makes it want to give even more. It's like the level of gratitude that you're receiving, and also just the good ways in which you are sharing with others, being supportive of others, and just giving of yourself, and just being like a supportive person in other people's lives. Like, I feel like you've got a lot of good karma points that I think are really benefiting you in grounding these manifestations. I feel like you have a really good reputation, and I think a lot of people look at you very highly. I also think for some of you, these manifestations could be greater than just like one. It could be a succession of things you're trying to achieve. And I feel like you've got a lot of longevity in what you're trying to create. You know, I think about the fact that jellyfish, I don't know if all jellyfish are immortal. Is that a thing? Or is that lobster? Because I know with lobster, it's just like they keep living until their shells, I don't know, do some stuff. I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of longevity to what you're trying to create. And I think your manifestations are rooted in emotionally fulfilling, meaningful things to you that are not like, because there's a difference between manifesting from a heart-centered place and manifesting from a place of ego. And I definitely can see you're doing that. Not only that, but I feel like you are continuing to prioritize what has meaning to you and letting go of any fluff that might be getting in the way of your goals. I can see here, like, do everything I've just listed, keep doing. I also think that one thing that you could do even more is just take even more time to be silly and have fun. So like whether that's just dancing around your apartment, or, you know, doing a little dance every time something exciting happens, or just giving yourself even more room and more freedom to keep enjoying and appreciating the moment in small, silly ways. Like, I feel like that is helping you, because it's keeping like I hate to say these words, but like it's keeping your vibration high, in the sense that like you're heavily magnetic, you're staying excited, and I think it's helping assist you in not only like staying grounded in the midst of like what is yet to come, but also just like, I feel like the timing of how things are approaching has actually been less of a concern to you. And so it's just kind of like everything is falling into place, and I feel like there's just a lot of room for you to be excited. And I think that excitement is palpable in the ways in which it influences you to act. I feel like you're being encouraged to continue like acting in those ways, even if it's just silly small things. Like, I feel like it just reinforces the good energy within you that's bringing about what you want. I also think that for some of you, your manifestations may have to do with other people. And it just seems like the attitude and personality that you are projecting out into the world, that you are embodying, is very what's the right way to put it? It's very endearing, and a lot of people really like it. Like, you're the type of person that people want to support. You're the type of person that people want to say yes to. And I feel like you have a winning attitude that is really helping you bring about what you want. Now, in terms of what you could be doing that you're not doing, we have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Moon. So with the Moon here, I think one thing that you could be doing that you're not is maybe looking at what's going on in your subconscious realm. There could be some subconscious fears that are not doing anything in terms of impacting your manifestations. They could if they became more amplified, or if you were in like a state where you were just really struggling. Not that your manifestations wouldn't happen at all, but it might slow them down. It kind of seems like with the Ace of Pentacles and the Moon here, it seems like you have opportunities to create more abundance for yourself and opportunities to expand upon whatever you're manifesting. So like, for example, you could be manifesting like a new house, and the universe is like, yeah, not only could you get a new house, but you could also be manifesting enough to get a house with a guest cabin, and you could be renting that on the side. Like, there's almost like a yes and energy where whatever you're creating, you could have even more. And it seems like your subconscious fears are getting in the way of that, where it's just kind of like, oh no, I don't want to be too greedy. Oh no, I don't want to ask for too much. And the universe is like, you're not being greedy. We just want you to make sure you're maximizing your opportunities for creation here, because you are a creator being. And it just seems like you could be doing, you could be asking for or doing even more to build upon this manifestation if you wanted to. I think one thing that would speed it up is like, if there's any programs or any solid opportunities that could, like, for example, beef up your resume or give you learning experiences. It seems like if you've been holding back from that because you're unsure if it's worth it, I definitely think it is. I can also see here that you may have a bit of discomfort with the unknown, especially when it comes to building upon what you're trying to manifest. It seems like your manifestations are already like, they seem to you like a stretch, but what I'm hearing is that you could be dreaming even bigger and you could be asking for even more. And that's not selfish. That's not, you're not doing something wrong, but it seems like there could be even more that your heart is desiring that you're holding back from because you're worried that you aren't worth it, or because this manifestation in some way challenges one of your deepest fears. I would definitely look at where your Chiron is in your chart, because it might be that like your Chiron is being impacted by this, and Chiron kind of represents like the deepest wounds we have this lifetime. So understanding what that is, I think it'd be very powerful, because not once you understand what it is, you can find ways to support yourself through it. But also I feel like there is some aspect of this manifestation that you're not yet considering, or maybe there's something else you want to manifest that you're not even realizing like you truly want, because you're afraid of even exploring that. The fact that we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, it just seems like you could be planting even more seeds in the future that are like more that are less urgent in the near future, but that could be very useful in helping bring this manifestation along and helping at least make this manifestation even grander or align with your vision even more. I definitely think that there may just be certain opportunities that you haven't considered taking because you are afraid that you aren't worthy of them, or you're afraid that you'll be rejected. And I don't think that's the case. I feel like there is a part of you that even though you're very fulfilled, because you're very fulfilled, you might be like, yeah, but I don't want to ask for more. Like, that seems greedy. It's like, no, ask for more. Like, really push the limits of your ability to create and see what you can really make happen. I do think that there is some sort of opportunity that you know might create a lot of fear, but would help you immensely. Like, for example, maybe this is like a public speaking class, you know, if you hate public speaking, it's like one of your biggest fears. Maybe that public speaking class could not only get you the job that you're looking for, but actually be promoted really quickly or be offered an even better job, because they're like, you know what, you're with your public speaking skills, like, you know, we really want you to actually be in this position because we think you would really benefit us here. I feel like there's some sort of skill you could add to your repertoire that maybe you've been avoiding out of fear or uncertainty, that could just not only speed things up, but just make your manifestations even more powerful and even stronger and give you even more than you thought. With the Ace of Wands on the back of the deck, I definitely think that one thing that might be slowing you down as well is if you are getting burnt out at times. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. If there are times where like you are just kind of pushing yourself to the brink or pushing to the point of burnout, I do think that could be slowing these manifestations down, just because your ability to be productive or your ability to get things done may waver. So if you can find a way to be more balanced, I think that would be useful. I also think that if there's opportunities to be creative that you haven't been exploring, like new ways to be creative or just opportunities to explore things that you're passionate about, I think that could be really beneficial, because it might be the respite that you need in order to get back to your bigger goals. And it's also something that I'm just kind of seeing here that like they could add to this manifestation. Like, the interesting thing is that I feel like this is less about speeding the manifestation up and more about surpassing what you were trying to manifest, in the sense that you get even more, or adding to it in ways where you thought about manifesting that in the future, but you didn't even realize you could have that now. It's like, okay, I'm manifesting like getting this job, but I really want to be like the manager in the future, but it's like instead you get the manager position offered immediately. What I'm seeing here is that if you have the opportunity, please do what you can to beef up your resume, beef up your skills. Like, if you have opportunities to expand upon your skills, do them. Don't let your fears that you're not enough or fears that it won't be worth it get in your way, because no matter what, you're still learning, no matter what, you're still growing. And it seems like in terms of timing, there could be certain things that are outside of your control. Like, for example, if this is related to school, you know, it might take some time for like there's timing that the school has in order for you to graduate, or there's timing that where it's like applications are open for X amount of time, and so it might take a little bit more time for that to happen. But it just seems like you could have even more than you thought you could. So if manifestations can be sped up, I think it's sped up in a way where you're getting even more than you asked for and more than you thought you deserved. And I think that is where you really need to look within yourself. Like, you do deserve more than you could ever imagine, and you do deserve, number one, the opportunity to do things outside of just your big goals. Like, you do deserve to do things that just excite you and that, you know, feel good and that, you know, just invigorate you in ways other than just pushing, which, like, I feel like you do that a little bit already. But with the Ace of Wands in reverse, I feel like there could just be more opportunities to put yourself out there, or more opportunities to just feel alive in ways that give you unknown inspiration that you wouldn't have had otherwise for building these goals. And then on top of it, it's just like rejuvenation that you need in order to just keep going and stay magnetic and just keep your eyes on the prize. Like, you deserve to have a break every now and then too. But more than anything, you can have more than you thought you could. And I think that you really, like, the biggest thing getting in your way is addressing and looking at the fears that are stopping you from asking, what if I wanted more? What if I went even harder? What if I did this even more powerfully? Like, what if I asked for more? What if I put myself out there? What if I took this risk? Because I think these risks that seem risky to you are less about like risks in terms of your material life. They seem to be risks of like your own nervous system. Like, what if I get rejected? What if it doesn't work out? Like, what if it doesn't happen? What if I'm asking too much? And I just see here, like, you're not asking for too much. If anything, it seems like it would be really healing for you, and also be a powerful opportunity for you to realize, oh wow, I need to stop just asking for 2/3 of what I want and like go for asking for all of it, because I feel like there's a lot here that the universe wants to give you, and you're already in the position to be receiving a lot of it. And like the level of gratitude and appreciation that you have already is beautiful. But the universe is saying on top of it, like, hey, we have even more that we want to give you. You could go even further. You could expand even more, but you have to be willing to face the fears that are getting in your way, and you have to be willing to be open to trying different skills or adding certain things that maybe really challenge you, but it'll be worth it. So that is what we have for if you can speed this manifestation up. Yes, and I think your manifestation can be even bigger. If you want to talk about it, I would love to hear, like, what are you trying to, what would you consider adding if you weren't too afraid? Like, well, what are you going to add as you overcome your fears? Because I know you will. You know, what are you trying to create? I would love to hear. But we're going to go ahead and look at guidance and signs. So just signs that you're on the right path, signs that could be significant. So we have the theme of grace with pink pepper. The trigger statement is, what do they have that I don't? And the true statement is, we are all special. Allow your inner critic to be silenced as you find the perfection in yourself and those around you. So I think you're continuing to do that. It just may be hard for you to give yourself grace sometimes, and to also recognize, like, it's hard for us to know what we deserve, or hard for us to advocate for ourselves when we don't feel like we're worthy of something. So I definitely think anything stopping you from feeling more worthy, or just feeling like you can have what you want now, you don't need to slug away and sell yourself short and dim your light for a few years in order to prove yourself. Like, you can just prove yourself now. I love this. So I think that's a vulture. And we have the number 15, but I guess the 15th of a day could be significant, or January 5th. Anyway, I feel like this is just a massive confirmation that, like, yeah, you could have even more and have it more quickly, and you just have to set your sights on something greater and really ask yourself, what am I saying no to within myself because I'm afraid of someone saying no to me in real life about it? That's important. We have 222, so 222 significant. Trust that the seeds of your thoughts are growing as you are nourishing them with words, feelings, and action. I am balanced. So yeah, that's definitely a sign to continue trying to find more balance so that you don't get burnt out. And also, I think that's a big reason why the universe is pushing you to expand upon what you're already manifesting, because I think that this path could lead to more balance, where you're not having to push yourself and work so hard in ways that are unfair or unnecessary to you. It's like you could have things more easily, you could have things be more supportive, and you could just have it all now instead of, you know, forcing yourself to like be worthy of it. You're just slowing things down. Yes, you're very close to achieving your goals. So I feel like Spirit's already saying, like, just keep going. Like, there's already so many things happening, but you could just have even more if you give yourself that opportunity. And yay, we have Golden Unicorn with Ascension, awaken your soul's potential. I feel like you're already doing that, but golden animals or golden unicorns specifically could be very significant. I definitely feel like you're headed in a beautiful direction. And I feel like the only thing that you just need to do is stop saying no to yourself out of fear that someone else will. And just recognize that even if someone doesn't see that potential within you, sometimes it takes us seeing that in ourselves for others to see it. And you've got to believe it. You've got to believe in yourself, and that will help others believe in you. I know you've got it. I know you can do it. And I know you're going to do badass, powerful things. So pile 2, that's where I'm going to leave this reading. A bit of a shorter one today, but thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support for my channel and appreciation. So thank you to everyone who does that. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates, subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Shout out to my notification squad. Thank you guys for being here, for supporting me. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my merch. You can check out my social media. And I think that's all I have. Oh, you can check out other videos, especially ones with extendeds. But that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Outsiders Tarot and Lazlo, the Lapis Lazuli Pendulum, this is going to be your reading on why your manifestation isn't here yet. So we are going to see if this manifestation can be sped up using the pendulum. So we have to start by seeing what yes and no is. So if you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro, but we're just going to start by asking, Lazlo, can you show us yes? What is yes for you? Okay, so it looks like we have a clockwise circle, but I'm just going to do it one more time just to be sure. Lazlo, can you show us yes, please? Please show us what yes looks like. Apologies if my hands are kind of jerky. I had a large cold brew earlier, so you know how it goes. Caffeine jitters. Okay, so looks like yes is a clockwise circle. So now let's see what no is. Lazlo, can you show us what no is? I'm going to hold my hand just because it seems to be extra jerky. Lazlo, can you show us what no is? Sometime before next year. Well, that seemed to work. Okay, it looks like no is a counterclockwise circle. But let's just double check to be sure. Lazlo, can you show us no one more time, please? Can you please show us no? Okay. And we have another counterclockwise circle. Okay, thank you, Lazlo. So now we are going to ask whether or not your manifestation can be sped up. So when it comes to pile 3, Lazlo, and the manifestation that they are asking about, can it be sped up? Okay, I'm sorry. I know my hands are shaky. Can pile 3's manifestation be sped up? Yes or no? Getting a tiny counterclockwise circle, but I'm not going to take anything just yet. Wait for it to get a bit more dramatic and pronounced. So it's looking like a no, in which case we will look at what divine timing is trying to teach you that you're trying to skip. But let's go ahead and double check just to be sure. Lazlo, can you confirm, can pile 3's manifestation be sped up? Yes or no? Okay, so it is looking like a no. Thank you very much, Lazlo. So, now that we have our answer, we are going to use the tarot to look at what divine timing is trying to show you or trying to teach you through this process that you're trying to skip. So the cool thing is that by heeding the guidance, things can be sped up. So even though it may be a no in terms of conscious action that you can take, seems like there is a greater timing at play here, but that is absolutely okay, because we are going to see what is needed in order for this manifestation to come to fruition. But thank you so much for being here and for letting me read for you. If you want to show any appreciation, thank you to everyone who takes the time to leave me a little like or comment or some scribble. It's super helpful and I'm very grateful. But of course, I'm just grateful you're here and you don't have to do anything. So, Spirit, what is divine timing trying to show pile 3 about this manifestation that pile 3 is trying to skip? Okay, so this is the Chariot upright. In this case, it's a ghost car. What is, and I should also mention, upright means you're already doing this. Reverse means that this is something you should be doing that you're not doing. So what is divine timing trying to show pile 3 that pile 3 is trying to skip, please? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. What is divine timing trying to show pile 3, please? Okay, we have the Six of Swords in reverse. What is pile 3? Okay, we have the Empress upright. And one more, Spirit. What is pile 3? What is divine timing trying to show pile 3 that pile 3 is trying to skip? Okay, and this is the Page of Wands. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Swords. So some of the things I'm about to tell you, you might know deep down, but are maybe not what you wanted to hear. Here's the good news. You're already doing a lot. I think one of the frustrating realities of whatever it is you're trying to manifest is that everything has its own timing, and it seems like one of the things that you may be trying to skip is time itself, in the sense that you may be in autumn and you're trying to get to spring tomorrow, and the universe is like, we would love to make that happen for you, but that's just not how this works or how this manifestation works. So one thing that I'm seeing here, it's interesting because there's different elements of movement here. You know, with the Chariot here, this is telling me that you've been doing a good job at remaining balanced. You've been trying to keep a balance between all areas of life. Like, I mean, there could be different, the Chariot has a lot to do with balance. I actually kind of want to read the Ghost card because it's such an interesting version, but I don't, let me look for the guidebook, one moment. Found it. Okay, let's see what the Ghost card says, because this is a very unique tarot deck, and I'm sure there's unique insights that the author has. A curious car covered in black asphalt sits in the parking lot of a shopping center, like a ghost emerging from the depths. Step onto the black veil and climb to the top. On top of the roof, an empty red chair awaits. Take a seat. Listen to the bustle of shopping carts and voices all around. All of it fades into soft echoes. Guide the mind into the dark interior of the ghost car. Sink into the front seat like quicksand. The air inside feels like a desert night, crisp and clear. Fill the lungs deeply. Slide across the soft bench seat behind the steering wheel. Just out of the windshield, a vast field of stars twinkles to light. Turn on the radio. An ocean-like static plays on every station. Blast it. Feel the ignition and find the key. The engine revs to life. Grab the steering wheel. A fool would floor it. The scene of the ghost car, which replaces the chariot, provides a vehicle for spiritual rebellion. The ghost car is inspired by an actual art project that was installed in my hometown shopping plaza parking lot. I was mesmerized by the collection of the junked cars covered in shrouds of black asphalt. My parents told me that ghosts would joyride in these cars every Halloween. Considered by most to be an eyesore, it was torn down after a few years. The ghost car is a work of art created by the magician and shrouded by the mysteries of the witch. The ghost car often offers passage into another spiritual plane where the higher self can be cultivated, far away from the distractions of the shopping plaza and the world of materialism. The ghost car only works for those who recognize its potential. A red chair placed on the roof is the driver's seat, but the operation of the ghost car is a unique riddle for each fool to solve. A banner of 12 stars hanging above serves as the map through the stars. The eventual destination is the center pennant, which shows the final scene of the major arcana, the world. So it also links to the sign of Cancer, a powerful cardinal sign where home is established. In the northern hemisphere, Cancer begins with the summer solstice, after which there is a return to darkness and the watery depths. Using the protective armor of the crab, Cancer offers opportunity to navigate and contemplate what lurks beneath the surface. Emotional, psychic, and spiritual explorations focus on the higher self, exhaustion or boredom with the mundane, leaving the material plane, enigmas, distancing from distractions, non-physical movement, connection with ancestors. So this is one thing that you're doing correctly. I definitely, number one, love this, because I wonder if there's some aspect of this manifestation where you feel like you're going against what mainstream thinking says or what you've been told is possible for you to create. And I think that you're absolutely right in thinking that this is possible and that you can create it. You are clearly taking time to go within, and also you're on a process of ascension. So you're growing and evolving, and that's definitely stretching you, and it might be overwhelming. So I just want to say, like, you're doing great and you should not be beating yourself up. But I definitely think that the aspect of timing here is more so related to whatever your manifestation is. It definitely seems like the timing of it has a lot of factors. Some of them are things that you're learning, but I think some of it as well is getting you in a position to receive, and also getting you spiritually to the right position where you're not where you're able to fully anchor this manifestation. So like, for example, if you need to know rocket science in order to know this manifestation, I'm not saying you do, it's just an example, and you're still in high school, obviously there's timing there where you've got to get this degree, and then you've got to get accepted to a school, and then you've got to study this specific curriculum, and you're probably going to have to do 2 years of exploratory classes, because at least if you're going to college in America, they're going to bleed you dry financially, because colleges are businesses here. But that's an example of, there may be certain aspects of timing, and there may be an element too of spiritual and emotional maturation. And I kind of see that here in terms of what you're not doing yet. But I definitely think that there's a lot, what you've already been doing that's been super helpful is, number one, you've been healing your inner child. I definitely think that you've been exploring more and going outside of your comfort zone. And I also think that you've been learning to reparent yourself. You've been learning to nurture yourself, because I definitely think that this may not just be one manifestation. This may be a greater vision of how you see your life being, the type of person you want to be and the person you're becoming. It definitely seems like you're already on a beautiful path of creation. It's just one that can't be rushed. Although I do see here that something might be slowing it down is in the 6 of Swords reversed and in this Knight of Cups reversed. So I'm taking the Knight of Cups in 2 different ways. One of them could be that you're holding yourself back from making decisions from an emotional place, or you may be dealing with a lot of emotional reactivity or just a lot of emotional intensity that's challenging for you to deal with, that may be leading you to being stuck for a little while just so that your nervous system can process and deal with that, or it's causing you to find ways to soothe yourself that maybe are potentially self-destructive or that bring you back to a version of yourself you're ready to move on from. It kind of seems like one of the things holding this manifestation back is a willingness to let go of the past and a willingness to move on from what's holding you back. And I think that there's this call for you to look at why these manifestations are the ones that are centered in your heart. And ask yourself if there's any element of them that is more rooted in ego than heart. Not saying that your manifestations are, but there does seem to be this element of wanting to prove yourself, or this element of being motivated from a place of proving someone wrong or just proving yourself, period. And I feel like that is something that's actually slowing these manifestations down, because you don't have to have these things by virtue of proving yourself to someone else. In fact, I think that's actually something that's maybe holding you back, because you're already worthy of these things and you're already in the process of creating them. I mean, the fact that we have the Chariot and the Empress and they're both upright, you're already recognizing that there is some time that it's going to take for these to fully become realized. And I think there is an awareness that inner healing is a process that you're going through right now, and that doesn't necessarily have a specific time limit, or it doesn't have you don't have a clear understanding of what the outcome is or what place you have to be in order for things to move forward more smoothly. But I feel like the focus of your manifestations right now does need to be, number one, focusing on mental patterns of behavior that keep you stuck in an old version of yourself, that block you from your spiritual insights, that block you from your inner world, and that keep you stuck in a mode of thinking that makes you feel like a former version of yourself, that makes you feel like you're not good enough, that makes you feel like the life that you want is even further away than you thought. This Six of Swords in reverse is really making me feel like forward movement is something you desire, but there's something emotionally holding you back. And so I do think that it could be rooted in your inner child. Maybe that's something you're exploring, but it definitely just seems like there's an element of your power that's being given away to others, whether you realize it or not. And I don't think it's a very conscious. I think it's more so people from your past that may not even be part of your life anymore, that they take up too much space in your internal dialogue or in your internal beliefs, and you may not recognize it because it could be buried in your subconscious. But I can also see here as well, in order for this manifestation to come to fruition, you may have to move literally. Like, you may need to move houses, you may need to move towns, cities, states, countries, provinces, whatever it may be. There could be some sort of physical movement required that you might be avoiding, or that like you can't make happen yet, because, like, for example, let's say you're studying somewhere, or you don't have the resources yet to get there, so it's taking some time. But even if you don't have the resources yet, it definitely seems like you're in the position where you're bringing them about. It just takes time. Well, I'm hearing The Middle by Jim E. World. Like, there's just aspects of these manifestations where a lot of the progress internally that you're making seems like it is very helpful. And it seems like it's creating a lot more lightness within you. But I think there is a level of fear around actually acting upon the growth that you're having. The fact that we have the Knight of Cups in reverse here, it seems like you have changed and grown a lot, but you don't have the confidence in yourself to act on that change. And there might be fear of, like, what if I'm wrong? What if something bad happens? It almost seems like you've gained wings, but you won't let yourself fly. It seems like you're still kind of playing it safe and taking action that really doesn't align with you anymore, but there's a part of you that feels stuck from taking action that would serve you. So I feel like when it comes to your spiritual growth, especially that we're seeing in this ghost card. Like, you are expanding and evolving a lot, but I think what evolution is asking of you right now is to use the spiritual growth you're having to sit with your emotional body and look at where you need to emotionally support yourself more. What does your nervous system need from you? And what is your emotional body trying to tell you that you're ignoring? That could be many things. It could be, you know, you're worthy of these manifestations, but you're afraid of actually trying because of what it might mean emotionally should you fail. And let's just say that failure in this case is not genuine failure. It's just a minor setback. Because, you know, whatever manifestations you're trying to make happen, I feel like they're rooted in dreams that you had when you were a child. And I feel like the shadow of those that tore you down when you were young are still there in your ear saying you can't do it, or it's stupid to act from your heart, or you may still be stuck in versions of yourself that were powerless, that didn't have the opportunity to do things differently, that didn't have the means to create what they wanted, or didn't have the support and resources that they needed. And even though you're physically not at that place anymore, emotionally it seems like you still are. And that's really making it very hard for you to fly, like literally. I think that the butterfly is a significant sign for you, because it's like, you know, you're different. You know, you're becoming the version of yourself you always dreamed of, and you know you're headed in that direction. But there's almost like these invisible chains that have been holding you back and that have been keeping you stuck, and that really need to be dealt with in order for your manifestations to truly ground and in order for you to be able to move forward. It seems like you're trying to skip some pretty painful wounds within you that are really making your manifestations take longer to ground, because these wounds are rooted in or are connected to what you're trying to manifest and what you're trying to create. So like, for example, if you're trying to manifest a happy home that is all yours, but you don't believe yourself worthy enough of that, but you're afraid to speak up for yourself at work, like speak up for a promotion, or put yourself out there in a way that you haven't tried before, or explore a new area of life that, you know, excites you, but you are afraid of receiving rejection or criticism. You know, rejection and criticism are aspects of pretty much any area we explore in life. And it's not about avoiding the rejection and criticism. It's about learning how to be able to accept that, or accept the reality of that without letting it stop us. I definitely think there is a need for you to be able to move forward, not just in mental ways, but in ways where you're truly letting go of the past. So that means, like, if you need to let go of stuff, if you need to move, like if you need to start making those plans, I definitely think now is the time. I think that you're already on the right track where you're aware, like, okay, my inner child is definitely one of the things being triggered right now. My inner child is one of the things that may be holding me back, but also propelling me forward. I think you're doing a great job learning to reparent yourself, and you're also doing a great job of attracting what you need. I think that the problem is that even though you're attracting what you need, you may have a hard time actually receiving it. It's like, it's right there, but you're still like, oh no, I couldn't possibly take that. I couldn't possibly accept that. Or the opportunities are there and you are holding back on taking them. It seems like there are specific steps that you may be afraid of taking that you know are necessary to get to the next level and actually ground what it is that you are wanting to create. And it seems like until you face those icky bits, I wouldn't call them that, but that's just what's coming through, you're gonna be kind of stuck in a circle. Because it's almost like, it's like trying to skip. It's like if you try to skip this step and move forward, you're going to be brought right back to whatever it is you tried to skip, and it's going to be even more frustrating because you might almost convince yourself that you already worked on it and it's not a big deal, and then it may come back and you'll be like, oh my god, I thought I was over this, or oh my god, I didn't realize like how much this affected me. And I also think that dealing with these internal issues is very necessary for you to take these next steps. Like, for example, if you want to post on YouTube and you want to share yourself with the world, one of the realities you're going to have to deal with is people being very evil to you for no reason other than they have their own emotional issues and you're available for them to, you're available to be a punching bag, and they probably don't have a journal. If you don't know how to receive that without shutting down, or if it is very impactful or hard for you, that's going to be something that holds you back a lot, and it might crush your confidence. It might crush your ability to keep going anyway. It could mess with your ability to create authentically. It can mess with your ability to stay centered. And so the universe might be saying, yes, this is in your future, but we want you to be in a position where, you know, a setback that triggers some sort of insecurity or some sort of discomfort or messes with your nervous system isn't something that knocks you off the path completely, that convinces you you're on the wrong path in general, that convinces you that you're doing the wrong thing or you are silly for even wanting to make this change or have this dream. The universe is really saying that there is a need to close certain cycles and close certain doors completely, so that even though at times the ghosts of the past may resurface and try to scare you, they might bother you a little bit, but they will have nowhere near the same hold where it could be detrimental to your system and your psyche should they surface, because that could lead to a complete derailment of your manifestations and what you're trying to create, and almost convince you that you're in the wrong spot, that you're in the wrong position, and that you shouldn't have even been going for this in the first place when that's not true. So there is a real need for you to look at what you've been avoiding looking at and recognize that those things are not going to go anywhere. It may take time to work through them, and what you need to work through them may be different for everyone. But these are the keys for you moving beyond the cycle that you're in and continuing to move towards what it is you truly desire. You're already in the process of grounding these manifestations. And you're already doing great things in terms of, you know, embracing your creativity, seeing your own self-worth, reparenting yourself, nourishing yourself and your inner child, growing spiritually. But there are some more practical things like mental and emotional health that need to be addressed, because you need to be able to know how to care for yourself when your nervous system is shot. You need to know how to be able to counteract negative thinking and poor mental health days when you are in a position where you have more responsibility, or you have a platform, or you have some sort of following where it matters what you do, where people will read into your behavior. You will be set to a higher standard than others, and it doesn't even matter if you do everything right, because you will still do something wrong in the eyes of someone. Can you accept that? I'm not saying that that is what all of you are trying to create, but I feel like for some of you it is. And I will just tell you straight out, like, whatever issues you have going on within you are not going to disappear just because you have followers or support or more money. That is not going to change your internal reality. And if you are basing that sort of success on your sense of self-worth or on your ability to be worthy, or basing this idea that once you have those things, you won't be as affected by these past issues, you're gonna find really quickly that in fact, it almost seems like those situations exacerbate those issues, and you're forced to look at them more deeply. And now the stakes are higher, because should you act in a certain way that other people don't like, people are quite toxic on the internet nowadays. They can tear you down for the most minute of things, and it doesn't even matter. You can do everything correctly and you're still doing something wrong. Someone's still upset at you. And so if you have those people-pleasing tendencies, if you are really emotionally invested in how people respond to you, this manifestation may not be ready to ground, because you're gonna get going, be knocked off the bike, and then, you know, be like, oh, well, I guess I'm not cut out to ride it in the first place. Going after your goals, no matter what they are, is a worthy endeavor. But there is a level of wisdom to the timing of those things, especially if you try to explore something too soon, or if you try to take on too much too soon, you could be set back a lot further. You're doing great, but you have to be realistic with yourself and remind yourself that you can't just spiritually bypass certain issues. They need to be dealt with. The only way out is through. There is no amount of success or achievement that is just going to magically dissolve any internal issues that may be driving you towards this need for success in the first place. Success is different for everyone, but I think it's important to remember that there is no person on this planet that is not infallible because of what they have. Do you remember Drake going after that YouTuber because he ranked his video or ranked his album lower than he thought, or criticized his album? Like, there are so many examples of people that we project this idea of success and having it all, that you know, behind closed doors are just as human as we are, have their own issues, and are struggling all the same. I wish that everyone could have their wildest dreams come true so that they could realize it's not all the answer. And if you are basing your manifestations on being the thing that fixes your internal issues, it is going to suck when you get them and realize you're the same person. And so the universe is really saying here, hey, we want you to have these things, be able to handle them and navigate them in ways that are powerful and supportive, and in ways where you can anchor yourself in these new realities and not be too overwhelmed or allow imposter syndrome or allow your own insecurities to get in your way. You're in a process of getting out of your own way, and the only way to really truly bring about what you're desiring is to continue on that healing path and not ignore the more practical sides of what you're needing. Emotional support, mental health support. Those are the two biggest things that I'm seeing here. And those are connected in so many different ways. But if you are avoiding whatever it is that you're avoiding, that's exactly what you need to face in order to move forward. But I'll tell you right now, you can do it. I know you can. And no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're trying to achieve, not only can you have it, but you deserve to have it in a way where you truly appreciate it and savor it, and don't allow your internal setbacks or your internal wounds to be something that taints that experience or makes you feel like, especially after you're pursuing that you're doing something wrong or that it's a mistake. You deserve to take up space and shine your light in any way that your heart is asking you to. And your inner child is guiding you through that process. But you're going to have a much harder time trusting it if these mental and emotional wounds that you haven't addressed yet are holding you back. And that doesn't mean they need to be fully healed. It just means that you need to know how to support yourself and support these parts of yourself when you are in situations that they are exacerbated or though they're brought to the forefront. Because if you don't know how to deal with them, it's going to make your life a lot harder, and it's going to be something that really causes you to question yourself, question your ability, question your worth, question whether you can handle things, and you can. It's just a matter of having the wisdom and the tools to be able to support yourself through those processes so that you're not drowning. Because Spirit doesn't want you to drown, and I don't want you to either. I don't know if I got a little firm with you there. I'm sorry if I did, but it's only because you're more than capable of what you're trying to create, and you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to be willing to do the uncomfortable and hard things. Because honestly, a lot of success is rooted in doing uncomfortable and hard things. You know, it's uncomfortable and hard to put yourself out there. It's uncomfortable and hard to be on the receiving end of negativity that you don't deserve. But we all do that in our own ways, right? We all receive that in our own ways. And just because I had that one example doesn't mean that's the example that's for you. But, you know, life is not easy. Putting ourselves out there is not easy. Applying ourselves is not easy. But I can promise you that hard is very rewarding. And it's worth dealing with these issues that are holding you back, because not only will it help you redefine those manifestations in ways where you're like, maybe I don't need to go in this direction, or maybe I should tweak this because this makes my heart happier, even though it might be less popular. Like, this is what speaks to me. Like, listen to what speaks to you. Don't do things from a place of proving yourself. Do things from a place of, this is where my heart is leading me, and this is where I feel my growth is. I'm excited for you. Everything is happening in the perfect time, in the perfect way. But if you want to speed things along, face what you're avoiding, and, you know, don't rely solely on yourself to, you know, face those things. If you need to get help, please get help, because that will be super beneficial for you. So let's go ahead and see what guidance and signs there are for you when it comes to these manifestations. We have reassuring with the theme of peaceful. The trigger statement is, my life is a mess, and the truth statement is, I find stillness within. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Go within and find peace there, and your life will reflect that. Yeah, so some of this could just be a process of like grounding yourself and learning to find more peace with where you're at, because I feel like you're already creating a lot of growth. It's just like, you're already experiencing a lot of growth. It's just a matter of being patient with that growth, because you may want to, you know, have even more. But you need time to integrate that growth so that it sticks around and it's not just like a fickle change that you're unable to sustain. And also, it may just be too that like the lack of peace is coming from the things that you're avoiding, and it may get bigger and bigger the longer you avoid it and pretend like it's not there. Yes, we have you are about to shine. So I feel like you need to trust that. Not only do you deserve to shine, we have a cute little aardvark there, but also you deserve to feel good about being seen. You deserve to feel good about sharing yourself with the world. And part of shining is not dimming your own light and not feeling guilty about taking up space, having your voice heard. Yes, we also have 333. You are being called upon to use your spiritual gifts as a light worker, assisting all of humanity. Live your truths and be a positive light to others. I am powerful. So you are peaceful, you are powerful, you are shining. And I really do think like whatever it is that you're avoiding, like I think it's one of the few things you need to deal with in order to really move forward in powerful ways. Yes, we also have the end of a tough cycle approaches with full moon in Capricorn. And we have kangaroo with courage. You are being tested. Have faith and stand in your truth. So don't give up when things get hard. Don't let yourself get in the way. Don't get in the way of yourself. And don't let your doubts and don't let what is stopping you right now make you think that this path isn't for you or that you can't do it. Just recognize it's time to face those things so that you can make life a bit easier for yourself, be able to do new things with less discomfort, or at the very least, even if there is the same amount of discomfort, at least you can support yourself in more nourishing ways. I know that you can do whatever it is that you are setting your mind to. I know that you can face whatever it is that you are afraid of facing. And I think what you will realize as you do face it is, oh, these parts of me are not shameful. These parts of me are not bad or embarrassing or disgusting. They're just parts of me that have needed my love and that have been getting louder and louder because I need them to be on board with my journey, and I need them to be part of this manifestation process, because if they're not there, I'm not only missing out on you're missing out on their perspective, and you're also missing out on being a more whole version of yourself as you move forward to this greater vision that you have. Beautiful. Pile 3, you're going to do great things, and I can already tell, and I have chills as I'm saying that. I'm proud of you already, and I know you can do it. So, Pile 3, that's where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support and appreciation for my channel, so thank you to everyone who does that. But if you'd like to show support in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Shout out to my notification squad. If you want me to see your comments, I usually see comments when I first upload, and then after that it's kind of it's up to the universe, up to fate. You can also check out my Kindles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my merch. You can check out my social media. And I believe that's all I have. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!